everyone, welcome to Origami with Miss Amy. Today we're going to be learning how to fold an origami inflatable Pikachu. If you saw my last video on the paper lantern / water bomb, these instructions are very similar, just a few changes from the previous instructions. If you didn't see that video, I'll be going through everything step by step in this one as well. So we're going to make the Pikachu.
Pika pika.
And then we can also make a Pichu just by doing the same steps with a smaller piece of paper. So here we go. The materials you'll need are some paper. You can use yellow construction paper if you have any. That's what I'll be using today. And if you don't have that, you can use computer paper or notebook paper and just take a yellow marker, colored pencil, highlighter, crayon, whatever you have on hand. Then you'll also need a pair of scissors. You'll need a black marker and a red marker to draw Pikachu's face, and then of course the yellow marker or whatever other type of thing you have to color the white paper if that's all you have on hand. And then you'll also need some tape or some glue. Okay, let's get started folding our origami inflatable Pikachu. What we're going to need to do first is make our paper into a perfect square. If you already have origami paper, it's in the correct shape, but if you're using any other kind of paper, 8.5 by 11 or 9 by 12 as like construction paper, you're going to need to take the top corner and fold it down, lining it up with the edge as neatly as you can to where it forms a point at the top. And then once you have it lined up where you want it, then you're going to make your crease. And then once you've made that crease, we're going to remove this portion over here at the side with some scissors. Alright, so we have one diagonal already. We're going to make the other one the other direction here. So just fold it up to the corner and line up the edges and make a crease. And then we're going to unfold it and make sure that we're folding the opposite direction. So we did the diagonal this way, we're going to do our half folds this way. So just line up those edges together. Sometimes it helps to hold it up and line them up that way. And then you can lay it flat and make your crease. And then we need to make a half fold going the other direction. So just turn it and then do another half fold, lining up the edges and making a crease. And then unfold your paper and just push the corner up to where your diagonal folds are going this direction. And then we're going to kind of fold those corners together in the front and then these back corners together to where it lays as a triangle. And next we're going to take the bottom corners down here and fold them up to the top. So just fold that corner up, lining that edge with the center. Do the other side, fold it up and line it up with the center and make your crease. And then you're just going to flip it over and do the exact same thing on the other side. Okay, here's where the steps are going to start being a little bit different. We're going to make Pikachu's ears next, and we'll do that by just coloring in a couple of the corners with a black marker. So we're just going to open up one section here, the two flaps on this side, and we're just going to lay it over top another piece of paper just so we don't get marker on our workspace. And just take your black marker and draw a line up toward the corner just like this. And then once you have drawn your line, you can just color everything past it, flip it over, do the same thing, and then on the other corner do the same thing on both sides again. Now once you've colored in both ear tips, we're going to work on the face next. You can wait till the end and draw the face after you've inflated the Pikachu, but it's a little bit easier to draw it on a flat surface. So what we're going to do is just unfold everything, turn it over to where the main part of your ear tips are at the top, and then we're going to be drawing the face right in this middle section right here. Okay, take your black marker or pen, and we're going to draw Pikachu's eyes first. So just draw a little circle on this diagonal line here. Usually you want to start small. You can always make it a little bit bigger if you need to. Do another one here on the other side. And if you look at it and they seem kind of uneven or need to be a little bigger, just add some more on the outsides. And then we're going to draw Pikachu's nose, which will just be a triangle in the very center where all the lines intersect. Just like this. And then for his mouth, we're going to draw two small curved lines, just like this. And if you want Pikachu to have an open mouth, you can add a little section like this on there. And now we're going to take our red marker or pen and draw Pikachu's cheeks. So you just do a circle on this side and then another circle on this side. And I also like to color in his mouth with the red as well. And there you have Pikachu's cute little face. And then next what we're going to do is fold him back up how we had him before. Now when you do this, you're going to want to make sure that you get the ear tips on the same side so that they're like this. When your triangle's open, you have one on this side and they're both where you can see them. You don't want to have it where you have a triangle and you have one tip on one side and not on the other, because then when you fold it up, his face is going to be in the wrong direction. Now just fold him back up just how we had him before. Alright, then once you have it folded back into the square, we're going to fold these corners in toward the center and make a crease. So there's one, and then do the one on the other side, just fold it in, touching the center, and then make a crease. And then what we're going to be doing is tucking these tabs into the pocket that the one section forms. So you'll fold this down first, lining it up with this edge. And once you have it lined up, make a crease here at the top. And then do the same thing with this tab, just fold it down, lining it up with that edge, and then make a crease. And then we're going to be taking these tabs and folding them into the little pockets that this section forms. So you can just kind of fold it in there and then kind of tuck it in, and you can press on it to make it crease a little better, and then come over here on this side, open that pocket up, and then take your tab and just fold it in there. And then once you have it in, you can kind of push it down and reinforce that crease a little bit. And then we're going to flip him over and then fold those corners in as well. And then here's where it's a little bit different. Instead of actually tucking these tabs in, these are his ears, we want them to stick up. So we're just going to fold them down like this and make a nice crease. Fold the other one down and make a nice crease there. You want them to kind of stick up at the end, so that's why you want to make a firm crease right there. And then what we're going to do is blow him up just like we did with the water bomb or the paper lantern, but these little sections here kind of stick out, so you want to hold them down a little bit while you inflate. So you're just going to blow some air into that hole. So I'm going to come around and just quickly blow some air in to inflate our little Pikachu. And there he is. So just you can kind of see, I didn't hold on very well, so it kind of popped up, but you can just kind of push it back down, just fold it in there. And then you'll notice these flaps are kind of sticking up. I usually like to tape those down, so just get you some tape if you have it, or glue would work fine as well. You just have to hold it down to dry. But we're just going to take a little piece of tape and then place it on the corner of one of the flaps here. And I do both flaps separately just because it's hard to get them both to stay down with one piece of tape, especially with construction paper. Just kind of reinforce it here. It doesn't stick to construction paper very well. And then we'll take another piece of tape for the other flap on this side, and we will tape that one down as well. So just get your tape and then place it on the edge here, fold it down flat, and just kind of reinforce that with your finger so it sticks a little bit better. And then we're going to reinflate him since he got kind of squished. And once we do that, we can kind of fix his ears, fold them back a little bit, and fix his face up a little bit here so it doesn't look smushed. And there's our Pikachu. Pika, Pika. Thank you for watching today's origami tutorial. If you want to make the Pichu version of that project, you're just going to do the same exact thing but using a smaller yellow piece of paper. And if there are any other origami projects you'd like to learn how to fold, just add a comment below to let us know. And remember, you can go to library.nashville.gov and place holds on any other origami books we have in the system and use our curbside pickup service to pick them up. Have a great day and happy folding!
Hey everybody, what's up? This is Frank from the library, and today we're going to be visiting lynda.com, which you can access with your library card at library.nashville.gov. we're going to start on a learning path called Design a Comic Book. I'm going to take a look at some of the courses I think would be most valuable in creating comics and participate as I watch them. So if you've ever been interested in learning more about making your own comic books and stories, please join me. The first course we're going to take is called Learning Character Development and Design with Mary Jane Begin. This first section of videos is just an introduction to character development. The first video is called Instant Read, which is all about how the look of the character defines their personality. The second video is called Capture the Heart and Soul of a Character, which talks about the face being the focal point of the character and emphasizes the importance of starting out with loose, expressive sketches to try to get that expression, and always keeping in mind that the physical characteristics will reflect the personality of the character that you're developing. Here are some of my initial sketches at developing a character based on what she's talking about. The next section of videos is called Elements of Developing a Believable Character. The first video is about archetypes. The next video is called Keep It Real, where she talks about looking to available subjects to draw inspiration from. She also talks about motion, gesture drawing, which I did a video on. She also talks about environment and how knowing the context for your character helps kind of flesh out what it'll actually look like in that context. Here I did some sketches of some bats. The next set of videos is all about character construction. The silhouette and shape of the character should separate it from the rest of the characters. She gives a kind of a basic introduction to proportions, and then she talks about turnarounds in the video after that, which is a viewpoint that shows the character from front, back, and side view along a grid. She talks about mapping out facial expressions. You're going to get the most believable facial expressions if you actually look at references, real life references. The fourth section of videos in this course is all about style meets substance. So getting into more developing your characters from just the accumulation of everything she's been talking about. So there are a lot of different ways that you can kind of stylize your characters. And she looks at different examples of how artists create unique characters that are also grounded in reality. Here are the characters that I ended up with. And that's basically all for this course. The next course we look at will be about putting these characters into a story.
Hey guys, this is Miss Britney from the Madison Branch Library, and today I'm going to recommend some science fiction comic books that you can find on Hoopla. First off, one of my very favorite comics, Transformers More Than Meets the Eye by James Roberts. After the end of the Autobot-Decepticon War, the Autobot Rodimus decides to set off on a quest through space to find the mythical Knights of Cybertron, bringing with him his crew of B-listers, weirdos, and outright criminals. This wide-ranging space opera has action, adventure, romance, mystery, humor, and a surprising number of characters dying horribly. I'm not going to lie, if you're not already familiar with Transformers, you may have trouble telling some of the characters apart, but I promise it gets a lot easier. Two related titles that I'd also recommend are Transformers Last Stand of the Wreckers by Nick Roach and James Roberts, and Transformers Robots in Disguise by James Barber. Last Stand of the Wreckers can be read as a standalone, while Robots in Disguise takes place concurrently with More Than Meets the Eye. Next up is Cosmo Knights by Hannah Templer. In the future, gladiators in mech suits known as Cosmo Knights compete on behalf of rival planetary royal families for their daughters' hands in marriage. 5 years ago, Mechanic Pan helped her friend Tara get off-planet to escape her own arranged marriage and never saw her again. After 2 Cosmo Knights show up needing help, Pan finds herself on the run across the galaxy as part of a bid to burn the system down. The art in this series is fantastic, the characters are great, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next. This one's not complete yet, so watch out for cliffhangers. Lastly, we have Invisible Kingdom by G. Willow Wilson and Christian Ward. Bess, a nun of the Renunciation, and Grix, a freighter pilot, accidentally discover a conspiracy between their solar system's most powerful corporation, Lux, and the religion of the Renunciation. Drawn together by what they know and on the run, they must decide whether the knowledge of the corruption they've discovered is worth dying for. The alien designs in this series are great, and the setting is a lot of fun. This is another ongoing title, with the 2nd volume coming out soon. I hope this has given you some good titles to start with, and remember you can always ask your librarians for more recommendations.
Hi, I'm Chris with Studio NPL, and here is a free and easy-to-use app for making your own comic strip. You can take an original photo or choose one from your existing camera roll. Using your finger, you can adjust the photo to crop it to where you want it. Once you have done this, you can click the FX option. This will bring up the filters, where you can choose a filter to make your image more interesting. Once you have done this, slide up with your finger to create another panel. Choose your next image for your comic panel. Go back down to the FX option and choose another filter that best fits the next panel for your comic. If you choose an image that doesn't fit, you can use 2 fingers to adjust the image to fit the panel. After you've chosen all the images you want for your comic strip, go ahead and click the Gallery button. Choose the images you want to use in your strip in the order that you want to use them. Once you've done this, click the Save button. You can retitle your comic to anything you want. By clicking the arrow option or the save option, you can then now save it to your camera roll. Your final image should look like this. Thank you for watching with Studio NPL.
Miss people. I miss that thrill of driving to the convention and coming up to the hotel and seeing the crowds for the first time. Seeing those really ambitious cosplayers who wear the costume as they're going to the convention. I miss the sleepless nights and the expensive hotel snacks. Oh, man. I really miss the epic costumes and the photo shoots, the really casual costumes. That guy who did that weird Captain America hot dog Godzilla mashup, I mean, he did that. You know what? Let's do this. Let's go!
Hold on, Kat. We can't go to the convention right now.
We can't?
No, not right now.
Okay, well then how about we talk about the cosplay emergency kit? Alright, so this is my cosplay emergency box. There are no rules to the cosplay emergency box. These are only guidelines. You can make your box however you want. You can put whatever you want in it. I'm just kind of telling you what I have with mine. So I love this box. I've taken it to almost every convention I've gone to. It's really easy to pack. It's skinny. It's compact. You could throw this in your suitcase, maybe even your bath bag if you wanted to. I made it personal. I got my cute stickers on there. So I have some stuff laid out, and I have stuff in the box so you could kind of see what it looks like. I can fit 90% of the things on here on this table in the box. So let's kind of talk about what goes in the box. Usually you're gonna need this box because something went awry. Something went wrong. Part of your costume came undone, or maybe you were in a rush and you didn't finish a costume at home. Happens to every cosplayer. So we kind of have some categories here. We got things for sewing, for fabric. We have tools, different kind of tools. Some clips and accessories here. So these could be used for wigs or accessories or props. We got paints and glues, bleach pen, things like that. Oh, and grooming tape. Grooming tape comes in handy for like keeping socks up and wigs and things like that. So basically, let's see. You're gonna have something like Diva's hat here. We got some EVA foam pieces on here that I added on and glued. Let's say some of this was coming undone. You got Fabri-Tac. That's perfect. Fabri-Tac is a fantastic glue. This is flexible, and the thing is, it dries really fast. So in a pinch, this works on a lot of different materials. So I love Fabri-Tac. I get no endorsements for any of these products, by the way. But I have definitely always had this with me, and I stick this kind of stuff in a Ziploc, so in case it explodes or something, you're good to go. Other things I like to have in the box, again, like if you have something, like let's say I have the blue and the red paint, then I'll keep, and I know I need to touch that up, I got the red and blue paint. This one's orange and silver. But these little acrylic bottles fit in here really nice. So I got that. And I actually keep usually more than one type of paintbrush with me. They can easily be washed out. Bring these little disposable cups. These things are amazing for many different reasons. And then you can just toss them out. But you'll need to like wash your paint or mix something in this little cup. You got these to mix with. It's fantastic. You got your little sponge in case you need to paint with that. These, you just throw them away when you're done. Again, you want some stuff you could just toss out in the hotel room. You don't want to be carrying around all that stuff. So we got that. Lots of tools. I usually actually have a bundle of wire with me in here because, once again, wire comes in handy for putting things back together with props or like pieces that go on your wig and things like that. So I have an actual pair of pliers that cut wire because, once again, you gotta think about all this ahead of time. I got this little stuff is great for, once again, clay and all different kind of things. I got little pokey things. I got tweezers. The metal ruler, you wouldn't think about this, but metal ruler is great for when you have a knife, it won't cut into the ruler. So if you have a plastic ruler, you're probably going to cut your ruler. With the metal one, that won't happen. Always have a razor blade on hand. This one has a nice safety cap. And then I have some pieces in here. So anyway, that's kind of the tools. Always have a pen and a marker on you. These silver markers, they write on EVA foam and you can actually see them. So things like that. Little scissors. Always have a little tiny pair of scissors. These scissors I use all the time. Fantastic. Our sewing stuff. So it's good to have a piece of elastic on you. Something like this. You always have scraps of elastic. You got some Velcro. I've actually taken the sticky Velcro and sat in the hotel room and sewed the sticky Velcro onto my costume on the bed. I have this tiny little pin cushion. I always have a bunch of little pins in here and some sewing needles. I actually bent this one for certain costuming purposes because you just need to make a curve, so I bent that up. Once again, I always keep black and white thread in my box. If you have your costume and it's a certain color, bring that color with you. Freight check. You do need to pull the needle through difficult fabric. You have one of these little rubber things. All kind of stuff. You can go in all different directions with this stuff. Always good to have a little sandpaper. I don't like using a hot glue gun, but, you know, in a pinch, your little hot glue gun, you're going to need it. So that's it for some of this stuff. Let's talk about some other items that would be handy to bring with you that maybe wouldn't fit in this box. Alright, as you can see, I got pretty much everything back in the box. It's a little cramped in there, but that's okay. Nice thing about this box is, again, it's see-through, which makes it easier to find your stuff and see what's going on in here. You can put this stuff in, once again, in one of your costume box. I forgot to mention safety pins. Oh my gosh, safety pins. Have safety pins with you. And try to find the ones that are black. Like if you have dark colored costumes, they really blend in. This box, I think I got this box at either Joann's or Michael's, you know, something like that. You could probably get something like this on Amazon. So that's that. I'm going to put this aside and I'm going to talk about just some other items that don't go in the box, just stuff that is really handy to have in the room. You know those old cutting boards that you just want to throw out in the kitchen? Keep one of those. They're very easy to pack. These things can go anywhere. You're going to need some kind of cutting surface sometimes. You're just going to need it. So if you don't have something fancy, take one of these. If you do have something fancy, kind of like this, I think I got this on Amazon. This is fantastic. This is a cutting mat and an ironing board surface. And you can fold it either way. Put this on your lap in the hotel room, put this on the desk in the hotel room, on the bed, and you're not going to damage the hotel room. We don't want to damage the hotel room. We like the hotel. We want to keep coming back. So don't damage the hotel room. Use something like this. Fantastic. I love this thing. And it has a little handle, and once again, very easy to pack. You should always have a little standing mirror. Ladies, guys, doing makeup, you're sharing the room with other people. The bathroom is always occupied. You can sit at the desk or your little nightstand. This one has a magnified side and a regular side, but having a little mirror like this really comes in handy. My mama got me a bunch of little baby steamers one year for Christmas. This one comes in a little bag. I don't know what JM stands for, but this is a tiny, tiny little steamer that comes apart in 2 pieces, and you just fill it with water and plug it in, and it's a steamer, and it's amazing. Guys, do not go out of the hotel room in a wrinkled costume. Even if you're doing a cheap costume or something you just bought, like in a bag, you know. Iron and steam your clothes so you look respectable. Don't be that anime kid. Alright, I'm back. So, I started taking this to conventions about 2 years ago. This is a shoe holder thingy-majig. This is just, once again, look at it. It lays super flat. You can stick it in your suitcase. You can stick it in a box. This thing opens way up. So, the cool thing is, in the Marriott, where they have Dragon Con, they have big cabinets going up by the TV. It comes with these little hooks. Don't forget the hooks. Don't forget the hooks, because I forgot them. I've labeled them too. So you got these little hooks. They easily hang up on the cabinets. You can hang it on the back of the closet or in the hallway. And all of me and my roommates, we used all of these. We each had our own like slot because we have 4 people. So we put our badges in here so we wouldn't forget our badges every day. We would put our vitamins in here, plasticware, snacks, drinks, actual shoes. This thing is amazing. You can do lots of stuff with this, and then you can see all your stuff as you're going in and out of the hotel room. Well, that is what is in my cosplay emergency kit. That's what's helped me, but like I said, there's so many different routes you can go with this. Just go for it. This really comes in handy for things like this and things like this. This is my Mercy wing. My Mercy cosplay was one of the most difficult costumes I think I've put together and put on. Carrying something like this around, and you bring it out of the bag from the hotel or from your house, and then you're like, oh my god, I dropped it, and I bumped it up against this door, and oh my god, what am I gonna do now? Well, guess what? You got your cosplay emergency kit, so you can paint it, and you can glue it, and you can Velcro it, because I've totally sat in the room with this and did that. So anyway, I hope you really found this video helpful. It's meant to be helpful. Please, if you want to reach out and let me know what you have in your cosplay emergency kit and what helps you when you're out at the con. Feel free to reach me at the link below, and feel free to leave a comment if you'd like. And like I said, it's a helpful video. Leave a helpful comment for somebody else. All right. Have a great night.